Just approaching 12:30 on this Wednesday afternoon with me, Tobes, and we are getting you all loved up as this weekend is Valentine's, and we have got the most fantastic competition. You could win a 3-course meal for you and your partner, for you and your lover. If you're arguing over who's going to be cooking what, if it's steak, if it's gammon, if it's chicken, maybe you just can't decide. Well, we've got it sorted for you because thanks to our good friends at the Block and Barrel of Haverfordwest, we have got a 3-course dinner date for 2 to give away to you. And it's so easy to enter. Just head on over to purewestradio.com right now. But also, as an extra special treat for you, I have the main man from the Block and Barrel who is responsible for cooking up this lovely, delicious nosh. I've got the head chef of the Block and Barrel joining us here this afternoon on Pure West Radio. Hi, Calvin.
How you doing, guys? Are you right?
I am so good, thanks, mate.
Good.
During these times, we've got to spread as much love as we possibly can. And
Totally
it's
agree.
an absolute delight to have Block and Barrel on board for our big Valentine's giveaway. I mean, what a prize, first up, Calvin.
Yes, it is. It is.
We
absolutely
cannot...
amazing.
And over 200 entries already. So people are really feeling the love and are going to be enjoying some delicious food, all thanks to you. And we'll go through this Valentine's menu in just a moment because it is delicious. But first up, Calvin, I mean, we've bumped into each other many times through over the years in Haverfordwest. Head chef at the Friars, now at the Block and Barrel, which is now your current residence. Are you enjoying your time there?
Absolutely, it's great. It's a good team. Obviously, you're nothing without a team. At the end of the day, it's like, my bosses, Mark, Lou, they're brilliant. They back me on what I decide to do. They leave it to me. It's like, which is great. But we all throw in ideas. Someone comes up with an idea, and then we make it happen. Sometimes it's customers. They'll ring up and say, "Could you do this?" And I might leave it with me. Get back to you. Job done. It's like, obviously these days, gluten-free, wheat problems, the allergy problems, they give a call, everything's homemade. So all I got to do is adjust it.
The kitchen is the heart and soul of any restaurant, and it's where all the action happens. It's where the passion is fired up, and you get those beautiful dishes presented onto the tables. But of course, things are very different at the moment, Calvin, with, of course, it being deliveries only.
Yes, it's like we've tried to stay true to what we do rather than just turning to takeaway. We're doing what you would normally have in to the best possible ability of having it as a takeaway. It's like, so we've not compromised. We're still doing the same things, but we're just doing it in a takeaway form. It's like, it's taken some adjustments because that's not what we do. We didn't do any takeaways before. So now that's what we do.
You've got to turn your hand, haven't you?
We've moved with the times.
It's exactly what you have to do. And Calvin, I mean, what is the temptation like for you in a kitchen? I mean, you're creating all these wonderful dishes every day, I mean, you've got to have a taste test, surely.
You got to taste everything, but it's very different. It's like, you don't view it as food as such. It's more about the flavors and getting everything right. But it's, when you're in the kitchen, it's work, and it's very much off. It's like, well, I'm not going to eat one of them because then I'd have to make another one. And it's quite funny.
I get your logic.
Yeah.
I mean, if anyone doesn't know you, Calvin, if they're listening into the show right now at home in their kitchen, in their bathroom, in their bedroom, and they're not watching the Facebook, you can actually see an Iron Man flag in the background where Calvin is at the moment, and hop onto our Facebook page so you can come and say hello to us and interact, and please do comment any questions you've got. But Calvin is an ultra runner. Now, if you don't know what an ultra runner is, this guy takes Iron Man and puts it up on a level of steroids. I mean, it is insane. I mean, just give us a little brief background of what you're doing at the moment. I mean, this is bonkers, Calvin.
Well, at the moment, I'm running 52 marathons in 52 weeks. So I'm on marathon number 43 next week, and I'm 2 weeks ahead. So
Wow.
it was originally going to be for a world record, Guinness World Record, but because of COVID, it got cancelled because obviously I can't ask people to sign papers and releases.
Yeah.
I do very intense runs. I'm picking off the hardest in the world. So I've run across the Sahara Desert, I've run through the Amazon jungle, and hopefully, if COVID's all sorted, I'll be going to Nambia this year to run 160 miles in the desert, carrying 10 kilos on my back.
Wow. Well, hey, best of luck with that Guinness World Record attempt, Calvin. You've always got our back on that one. Good luck to it. And if there's any ever fundraising that you're doing and you need a platform to shout about it, please do get in touch with us here. So I could imagine as well that because you are an ultra runner, the temptation sometimes has to be surpassed as well, because you don't want to be putting on too much weight, I could imagine.
It comes in handy sometimes because I can eat a lot. It's like because of how many calories I burn, I do get, it's like it can upset people when they go, oh my God, how can you stay so thin and you're eating all of that and now you're having another one.
Well, I am burning 3,000 calories a day.
It's like the old Hobbit. It's like I'm having second breakfast and I'm having third breakfast, and they do look and go, well, how do you stay only 10 stone?
But, I suppose you picked the perfect job for an ultra runner there, Calvin. You know, being a head chef at ultimately a fine restaurant.
So I know what to eat. That helps. Yeah.
That's certainly the important part. And let's get back to the food, which is, of course, why you're with us here this afternoon. And ultimately, what is so important about Valentine's? I mean, it is the go-to thing. You know, when you've bought your roses, you've got your chockies, you've had a card, you've had your little smooch, you might have maybe got down on one knee, you might have got something a little bit naughty, bit funny, but then you normally then would go out for a meal that night. You would sit down, have a lovely, nice romantic meal, the beautiful music in the background, the ambience. And unfortunately, that now cannot happen at the Block and Barrel, but we can bring that experience to people's homes this weekend, which is so exciting.
It's like I've written the menu as if the people are in, as if you are coming in and joining us and sitting down. You're not going to see some of the flames coming up because it's an open kitchen. If you've ever been there, it's like it's an open kitchen.
Stunning. So I love watching you guys in action.
When I'm pan frying the fillet steak, it's like they're not going to see the flames coming up, but it's still going to happen. You know, it's like, so like you say, everything is the same apart from, instead of portioning it nicely on a plate, we're putting it into little silver trays and getting it as fast as we can to you. It's like, so it's still warm, so you just open and off you go, and then you can enjoy the rest of your evening.
And we've had some fans of yours getting in touch, actually, with us here on the Facebook live feed. Councillor Tom Tudor, he thoroughly enjoys your service. First class, big thumbs up from Tom. He really does enjoy your service there. He also has commented, which you can see on the screen right now. Block and Barrel are brilliant. We recently had a takeaway and it was outstanding. And Tom, I completely agree with you. I had the Block and Barrel burger with sweet potato fries, and it was delicious, Calvin. It was absolutely stunning. So without further ado, shall we have a look at this Valentine's menu?
Yeah, let's have a look.
It is stunning. So this is available Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for anybody to order. Okay, so for starters, we have a garlic and mushroom or a garlic chili mozzarella bruschetta. Talk us through that, Calvin.
Brilliant stuff. Well, basically, it's made on a really nice Italian bread with a homemade garlic, olive oil, and basically all fresh herbs toasted to basically perfection. So it's nice and crunchy and enough to just get you started. But like with what we do, it's like, let's say, for example, I don't like mushrooms. Well, tell us you'd like something else, and we'll do that. It's everything is homemade. Everything is done to order. So it's not like going to a chain where you have to have that because that's in a tub, that's in a packet. We'll just change it. So it's like absolutely great little starter just to get you in the mood.
So you heard it here first at Pure West Radio. If you want to tweak anything on this menu, you can fully customize it. I'm a sucker for bruschetta, Calvin. I must tell you, I love it. Just the fresh ingredients. It's beautiful. And then another one, which I'd certainly been torn upon on this starters menu for the Block and Barrel for Valentine's, is the king prawns pan-fried in garlic butter.
That's my favorite. That is, personally, if there was two of you, I'd say order the bruschetta and the prawns and share, because king prawns, these are thumb size big king prawns, cooked to order in a wok, garlic butter, squeeze of lemon, very simple, served with a nice little feta salad. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely
beautiful.
Amazing.
Sounds delicious. I love your idea as well. I always do that. Whoever I'm with, you have one, I have the other. We'll go halves on it. It's got to be done.
Definitely.
And we've also got the Italian beef and tomato soup. I mean, that's always a banker, isn't it, the soup?
Yes, yeah. It's like, granted, it's a bit more filling. It's basically a beef bolognese, so it has a lot of meat in it, blended down and then turned into a soup. So it's absolutely, the flavour on it is absolutely amazing. It's like, it is pretty much, you're eating a very creamy bolognese, but you can't even see it. It's absolutely amazing.
Can imagine that. It's so incredibly smooth.
Yeah.
Mwah, delissimo. And then we have breaded brie wedges and barbecue sauce, finishing off our starter menu.
Just a simple one there. It is pretty much, it's like trying to sort of mix it up for everybody. So you've all got, not everybody likes to experiment with king prawns. So it's like keeping it simple, it's just a basic, nice brie wedge with a barbecue dip. Again, if you wanted a different dip, if you wanted cranberry, if you wanted whatever, all you got to do is ask.
And it's as simple as that. And they are the starters. We've mentioned all 4 starters there, which are available for you if you would like to order it this weekend from the Block and Barrel in Haverfordwest, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. But you could also win this by entering our competition at purewestradio.com. Beryl Davis has been in touch and put great prize with a nice love heart and a fingers crossed. My fingers are crossed for you as well, Beryl. So after tucking into our delicious starters, the stomach's starting to rumble again a little bit, and we now make our way to the mains. And first up, it's a crispy chicken parm.
Now, this is absolutely amazing. This is a pure chicken fillet, and it's flattened out, and it's made with panko breadcrumbs and Parmesan cheese, fresh Parmesan cheese, blended together, and then made with a homemade tomato sauce with fresh tomatoes, fresh cherry tomatoes, our own homemade tomato sauce, which we always have here anyway, and then topped with mozzarella and grilled. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely.
I can't say I've ever had a chicken dish quite like that. Something I'd certainly like to try there, Calvin. And then steak Diane.
My favourite. Now, usually with a Diane sauce, people will do Diane sauce with mushrooms, and obviously it's brandy. This is similar, but no mushrooms at all, because we've already mushrooms in the bruschetta. So I thought, well, I'm going to make one of my own personal recipes of a nice Diane sauce, but with 0 mushrooms. And because this is pan fried, so it's pan fried, then right near the end, you've got a lovely touch of brandy thrown into the pan. So you're having the flames all coming up, sealing into the meat. And then what I would do in the restaurant is obviously, sorry,
just say, excuse me, I'm live on the radio right now. I'm a bit busy.
and obviously, what I would normally do is pour the sauce over the steak. But obviously, for takeaway reasons, I'm going to put it into a little pot so you can add or dip and try as much as you like. But beautiful. Like I say, to see this in the open kitchen would be absolutely amazing. But unfortunately, that can't happen. But like I say, everything's going to happen the same way.
Yeah, it is all cooked fresh in your kitchen in Block and Barrel and delivered fresh to your door. So our next main is the vegetarian option, which is a Greek homemade moussaka.
Yes. Now, I spent a lot of time in Greece doing ultra marathons and things. and I met a Greek chef out there who we sort of worked together and did a lamb moussaka, normal, and picked up a few tips, and we came up with this really, really nice way of doing the aubergines and for the moussaka. Absolutely amazing. It's like, I don't know if anybody's ever used aubergines before. Now they can be very bitter, but if you soak them in water with lots and lots of salt for half an hour, then wash it all off, flour them, and then grill them in garlic. Absolutely amazing.
That sounds so good.
And that will go, and then with our homemade cheese sauce on top of the Italian sauce with all the vegetables in as well.
Delicious.
So really nice.
I'm a little bit torn on my main here. The crispy chicken parm sounds delicious, but this would be the game changer for me because I love tuna. And this sounds just simply delicious. Tuna, lime, and garlic fish cakes.
Yep.
Pan fried.
Absolutely amazing. Again, homemade. Everything's homemade. This is such a simple recipe. It is basically tuna, coriander, lime, a little bit of onion, a little bit of mashed potato, a little bit of seasoning here and there, and literally pan fried to order. So, and absolutely, they would make an amazing starter as well. If you make them smaller, there's so many options there, but absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for Thai fish cakes for a starter.
Yeah.
So this is a main for me, potential game changer. And of course, they're all served with a choice of chips, wedges, dauphinoise, sweet potato or curly fries, and feta salad garnish. And I have to say, your sweet potato fries, they were mega impressive, Calvin. Yeah. So good. So that's our starter and main. We've hopefully polished off a glass or two of some fine Pinot Noir. And now we make our way onto the sweets. And we have a glazed fresh strawberries with fresh cream kicking off.
Well, originally I wanted to just do fresh strawberries and cream. It's one of the most, it's the classic.
And if people were in the restaurant, you could imagine them just leaning over and just,
So I come up with the idea of doing the similar sort of thing, but making a nice strawberry glaze. So basically, the strawberry glaze is made with fresh strawberries, and we'll basically just stick enough to the strawberries so it's completely covered, and presentation for going out for delivery is going to look so much nicer than just having a bowl of strawberries.
Yeah.
So absolutely, like I say, it's refreshing. It's nice. It's sweet. It's like, what more?
It's Valentine's. It's just strawberries and cream. Yeah. It had to be on the menu. I'm so chuffed it is.
Mix that with chocolate fudge cake. You're done.
Mate, well, this is it. You're well and truly on my wave here, Calvin, because that is next up on the list. And I mean, that's what it'd have to be. I'd have to say to the missus, look, you go for the strawberries. We can feed them to each other, not a problem. But the chocolate fudge cake, I'd have to keep that all for myself. Sorry. That would be mine 100%. So a nice chocolate fudge cake with cream. Can't fault it.
Yeah, definitely. And this is all with fresh cream as well. So it's like, it just ups the game again. Yeah.
And then last but certainly not least, something I think my parents would probably go for if they were on a Valentine's Day, very much up their street, a homemade raspberry and apple cobbler / crumble. So that's a bit of a twist on that.
Yeah, well, a lot of people get quite confused with what a cobbler is. So it's like, now, obviously, trying to explain it in simple terms it's very similar to a crumble, but with like a scone base, and it's broken and mixed in. So you've got basically a crumbled up scone and chunks of scones with a homemade crumble topping, and it's all in one. So it's a really nice, a nice winter warmer. So whereas the other two are more aimed at, it's, it doesn't matter what the weather's doing. It's, they're just, they needed to be there. Whereas this was, well, if you want something filling and you don't want to share, this is for you.
Yeah. Hence why I think my mum and dad would probably take one each on that. I can see the thoughts and your real true diligence in this menu, Calvin. So I salute you for that. I'm sure many people are going to be enjoying your takeaways this weekend. It's available Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That is the menu in its entirety. It's also available on our Facebook page, so please head on over there. Calvin, where do you deliver to? Where's your radius?
We've delivered as far as nearly St. David's. It's like we get quite a few calls for long distances. Obviously, we've got to sort of look at how far we can go at times, because obviously, if the driver's out for an hour, then we're losing lots of delivery times. But it's like Milford is very common. Milford, Neyland, Pembroke, they're all the time. Obviously, everywhere in Haverfordwest. Yeah. But I mean, it's basically give us a call, send us a message, and we'll get back to you and work out a time, because obviously we get so busy, and we will sort of say to you, we've got these spaces available. It's like what I would say is, if you do want something at a certain time, book it early. It's like, even if you're booking now, it's like at the end of the day, once you've booked, you've got that time. You've got that time spot. That is yours, and obviously it's everything with deliveries is 10 to 15 minutes in it, depending on the traffic, depending on so many different variables. But obviously we try to get it to as close to that time as possible.
Yeah. And of course, you're making everything from fresh as well, so quite the art form, really, in a sense. So I totally have a huge amount of respect for you on that, Calvin. And of course, if you're watching this right now, you could win that menu for you and your partner. You could be winning a starter, a main, and a dessert on us here at Pure West Radio and our good friends of Block and Barrel in Haverfordwest. So enter right now at purewestradio.com. And if you fancy not cooking, if you and the missus are arguing at the moment, you can't seem to figure it out, because last year they cooked and then this year it's supposed to be theirs, then you're not sure. Neither of you do the cooking. Let our man Calvin take care of that for you. Let the team get it delivered fresh to your front door. All you've got to do is just pour a nice glass, sit back, dish it up, and away you go. That's how you can do it this Valentine's. Make sure you pre-book Block and Barrel. Check them out on Facebook, and you can get in touch by calling them as well. All the details are on their Facebook page. Calvin, thanks ever so much for joining us here this afternoon.
Thank you very much.
It's been great catching up with you. I am so hungry right now. I really want to just take a stroll on down there and come and sample some of your food right now. Absolutely on point. And we can't wait for one of our lucky winners to be winning that. And if you are stuck, make sure you get your orders in ASAP. Calvin, absolute pleasure having you with us. I'm sure you're in for a very busy weekend. Keep up the awesome work at the Block and Barrel. And you keep on running, my man. Keep those legs going. And we are just behind you 100% with those awesome efforts that you're doing. Keep that up.
Brilliant.
Absolute star there. Take care, buddy. A busy weekend on the way for Calvin, the head chef of the Block and Barrel in Haverfordwest. I am so hungry right now. I don't know about you. Make sure you head on over to our Facebook page right now and get involved with this competition. Also, all the details on the website, purewestradio.com. And good luck.
All my life and the hereafter.